Yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family, and welcome back once again to another Kaspa crypto live stream. Of course, it is official, it is now live. The Casplex Layer 2 ZK EVM smart contracts are up and running, and we can see right here we have a total of 3.5 million unique transactions and a total of 25,379 transactions taking place on Casplex Layer 2 right now. This is very, very big news. And while we're still in the early stages of this launch and there's still a lot of questions that need to be asked, there was someone in my community, actually it was Enzo, so shout out to you, Enzo. And yes, what you said earlier in my community, my physical server, is so important and so very true. I just had to repeat it here to remind you all watching, tuning in right now, watching on playback right now, the launch of Casplex Layer 2. This is another instance of Kaspa making history. The first true proof of work chain with smart contracts live. Bitcoin decentralization with Ethereum programmability. Scale with BlockDAG. It's a Bitcoin trust layer with Ethereum app player. It is the fusion of both. This Kaspa right now is truly becoming Bitcoin reborn. Bitcoin 2.0 as we always wanted it and intended it to be. So this is a very, very big milestone, and the best part is, and the fact that I can still say this as well is unbelievable, we are so early still. Not just in the price, in every aspect of Kaspa still. We've got Casplex out as being out for less than 24 hours. You've got to think about the stablecoins that will come on board at some point in the future. Igra Labs launching their smart contract later on as well. Project Sparkle, the KII launching their enterprise projects. The DEXs, the dApps, the tools that will be built on top of these layers. And then the VPROC making everything native built on Kaspa. Basically native smart contracts. And then Dagnite. And then MEV resistance, and then an Oracle DAO system governance. There's so many layers to what is still to come. There's a post here that I did publish, or I might have put it in a certain section of my community. If not, I might have put it in the news channel. Let me quickly double check. I did put it in the news channel, yes, which I did see that Greg saw it. This is a small clip, a small snapshot of a recent paper this month from the FMSB. This is basically a group of the leaders who kind of conduct and judge and look at the financial markets. This is basically all the leaders of the financial world here, making a paper talking about the future of the financial markets here. And what we can see here, their future belief is, first, we will see an increase in demand for cryptocurrencies driven by retail, so by us, often amplified by social media like Twitter. You see that continuously time and time again. Meme coins going parabolic, Kaspa's community being so incredible, helping Kaspa's adoption going higher and higher because we believe in the project. That's the first increase in demand, that's the first pump. Secondly, next thing to happen, 95%, so pretty much everything of cryptos, including Bitcoin, these assets lack underlying assets. They lack underlying value effectively, deriving their value mainly from market sentiment, which leaves them prone to sharp corrections. Integration of crypto into traditional markets has also begun, such as the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs and the commencement of direct trading by major banks. It's that first section though that I wanted to particularly highlight, how we are still in the very early conceptions of crypto. Retail still, for the most part, have a lot of influence. It's now shifting towards institutional sentiment, but due to a lot, 95% of crypto assets having a lack of underlying value, underlying assets, which includes Bitcoin, which we can see, because while Bitcoin is a proof of work like Kaspa, it hasn't got the scalability and therefore the underlying assets necessary for it to stay alive 30 years down the line. Kaspa does. There are probably other assets out there that might have their own intrinsic value as well, but point being is, a lot of the assets in this space, I think every asset for the most part in this cycle is going to pump. Following this cycle, that's when you really got to know what's going to do well. This cycle, in all honesty, is probably the cycle that you need to research and know what it is that you're holding. everything will pump this cycle, but during that corrective phase that will happen next year, or not next year, or maybe next year, whenever it is the next correction phase, a lot of the assets, when they correct, they will not recover because they haven't got any intrinsic value. They don't offer anything. They might try to adapt so they can offer something, but as it stands right now, there are tens of thousands of cryptocurrencies in the world, in the space. Not all of them are going to survive. There'll be a few. Kaspa for me is one that's going to survive and hopefully will prove itself with its first real use case, it making history with the launch of the Kasplex smart contracts, the mainnet officially out, up and running. Very, very exciting stuff right now. The layer 2 is live. You can see as you look at the dashboard for KasFi, what transactions are taking place through the Kasplex layer 2 right now, and what are taking place most likely through the KYC inscriptions. You can see here, majority right now all being done through Kasplex. Some of them are big transactions like this particular one, almost 2,000 Kaspa. Some of them are just 10 Kaspa. Seemingly just again testing it out, having a look. We're seeing it happening right now. The transactions are looking great, looking very, very great indeed. Every second, monetary transactions, peer-to-peer message, smart contract, 3 transaction types per second. That's what we're seeing right now. You've got Cassia, Kasplex, and KRC inscriptions, most likely. This is fantastic stuff. And again, we're early, we're lucky, we're fortunate. And the miners should, and in my belief, when the adoption comes back, the miners will be flocking to Kaspa like bees to honey. Keeping the network alive, making it more secure, more robust, bringing in more capital, and likely also massively signaling a supply shock, which will therefore incur a price rally in Kaspa. If you look at the market chart right now, Bitcoin at 109k, this has played out exactly as we had spoke about. Seeing a correction in Bitcoin, potentially either holding or losing 110k. It's come down to 109k. It's currently trading between this zone, and honestly, we may see Bitcoin. I do honestly think there's potential for more downside in Bitcoin from here. We might see it come to 107, maybe even 105k. Back down here, maybe even back to 103k. I don't think we'll lose the 100k zone. I don't think we'll come back down this far. But I do see Bitcoin come back down to maybe the zones down here, which is why I'm DCAing and I'm not, getting too ahead of myself right now. I think more downside potential. Ethereum right now is doing very well, up almost 4% right now. And as a result of that, some other altcoins performing quite well. And of course, Kaspa, with the launch of Kasplex, is doing exactly what we spoke about. I mean, again, we anticipated that Kasplex mainnet launch might have caused a big pump if we didn't see corrections, which we did yesterday, which of course then negated that fact. We saw Bitcoin blow past this level of resistance, going below 110k, hence why everything else came down as well, including Kaspa, ending the day at 7.5 cents. So Kasplex actually caused a pump of about 6-7% for Kaspa, and then it struggled above 8 cents, again being a critical level of support for Kaspa. We saw it all the way back here, after Liberation Day, middle of April, and equally, end of June, going into July as well. 1 week, 2 week consolidation phases. And now, we're at the exact same time. This time though, we have the launch of 10 BPS happened here. So this was pre-10 BPS. This is post-10 BPS. Now we have the launch of Kasplex smart contracts. If Bitcoin comes down more, you may see Kaspa come down more as well, of course, but Kasplex smart contracts, the mainnet launch may be able to keep some stability, some price consolidation with Kaspa. So Kaspa has a possibility for the time being of maybe repeating a pattern like this. See Kaspa probably just trade up and down here for the next few days until we see that definitive move. Once Bitcoin breaks 118k, when that will be, the next leg will be confirmed. I think more downside is possible in the short term, but Kaspa, again, for me, is a great time to DCA and scoop up some more. Some people, from what I've been hearing, naively believed that we'd be pumping quite significantly off the back of the launch of Kaspa smart contracts, which if you've been tuning into the channel for a long time now, you would have heard me say way back in 2024, smart contracts are a very big thing, giving you some utility, but they require adoption. Is not going to cause a god candle with the launch of smart contracts. it requires adoption. It requires time. As anything does, it's frustrating. I know people hate hearing just be patient, but you have to be. We're seeing the transactions come through right now. Again, 25,000 looking very cool, looking very good. We'll see it go up more, hopefully, as time. It might even come back down. Right now, still a lot of FOMO around the utilization of cashback smart contracts. It might come back down once that euphoria's come off, and then you have to see some more building taking place, and then some more reasons, more incentive to actually start transacting right now. Maybe there's stablecoins with Circle and Tether still seemingly close to be coming on cashbacks as well, also being an incentive to launch and start conducting on cashbacks as well. If these stablecoins come on, you'll have the ability probably to also start buying with these certain dexes, be it Kaspa, be it Zeal, whatever it may be. Kaspa right now is up 3.38%, valued at 7.8 cents. I'm not worried wholeheartedly, and the reason why I'm also not worried is, again, because of the cycle position we're in right now. I'm going to say my welcoming to everybody in a moment. I know I've done this a bit of a backwards way, but this is a 2-minute clip from Raoul Pal. Everyone here should know who he is. If you don't, he's quite a massive KOL, so you'll come to learn about him very soon. And in this clip here that I'm going to play, he confirms what I have been saying to you all, and equally in a lot more detail to my VIPs, for about a month now. And if anything, hinting at that for a lot longer as well, about the possibility, based on institutional sentiment, that we're going to see an extended cycle. I'll showcase this document once again in a moment, but before I do, listen very closely here to this clip from Raoul Pal, and understand that this cycle is not a 4-year cycle, it is following a business cycle, which right now is turning into a 5-year cycle. So right now, we have the possibility of seeing maybe 9 more months of crypto pumping, which would be insane if that's the case, so listen very closely.
Why is Bitcoin sort of not wildly off to the races yet? And it's this chart. Bitcoin is basically, this is a detrended Bitcoin, and it's basically the ISM, which is the business cycle. Remember, we've always said it's the business cycle stupid. It is always the business cycle stupid. And all of these people who claim it's the 4-year cycle based around this and that, they don't understand the fundamental of what the business cycle is, why there's a 4-year cycle in everything. And we've actually tell tomorrow by everything code presentation, but basically it's following the ISM. And rates have been following the same pattern. You see, rates should have come lower. They need to come lower because we need to roll the debt. We've talked about this. That's part of the everything code, fundamental part. And ISM, because rates are so high, has meant that Main Street has been screwed while Wall Street's made money from debasement. Earnings versus scarce assets. This is the issue that they need to solve, and they need to get rates lower. They get rates lower. Why? Why do we have an elongated business cycle that looks like virtually no other other time? It's because, and I only just found this out redoing the work on the everything code recently, is that in 2021-22, they actually extended the maturity of the debt from 4 years to 5 years. So that extension of the maturity of debt has pushed out the business cycle a year. The 4-year cycle this time around is a 5-year cycle. We don't know what the next one will be until we see where they all end up getting refinanced, whether it comes back to 4 because they managed to get some stuff at the long end, or whether they shorten it because everything's in the short end. We don't know yet, but this one is a 5-year cycle. And this is what it looks like. The 5.4-year sine curve, 5.4 years is the exact average weighted maturity of the debt. And it tells us the ISM should peak by 2026. We think liquidity probably peaks before that, as the rate of change of ISM changes and the rate of change of liquidity changes. Our best guess remains well into 2026, probably Q2.
That is something that I have been hinting at time and time again in these live streams. The possibility, the increasing possibility, the factual evidence even, that we are not, the crypto cycle isn't coded to be a 4-year cycle. It follows the business cycle, which, as you heard from Raoul Pal, due to the developments taking place in 2021-22 with the refinancing of debt, being extended by a year, this is going to be a 5-year cycle. Doesn't therefore mean we're going to end and peak in Q4 2026, but it will be in 2026. And again, those who are part of my VIP, who saw this information as soon as it came out, and those who've been tuning into these streams more and more as well, you would have seen this leak that I posted about. If you want to find out more information, again, the VIP, you can check it all out. We're talking about this sort of stuff getting ahead as well, learn what institutions are saying themselves. Institutional documentation here, the monthly outlook here from Sygnum Bank, who, by the way, Sygnum Bank are the ones who predicted that we're going to see $2.8 quadrillion worth of transactions taking place coming on chain over the next few decades or whatever, because Swift transactions conduct over $2 quadrillion worth. They did on August, so last month, investment outlook here. Again, I showed you this yesterday, so if you've seen it already and you're bored about it, I'm sorry, but it's still very important to understand right now. Crypto predictions for the bull cycle are bearish into 2026. Understandable 4-year cycle. However, as global liquidity remains plentiful, look at the M2 money supply right now. Rallying at all-time highs. It's going higher and higher, making highs and highs. So it's still, the money's still coming in. As institutional adoption progresses, we have actually just received a report here that Vanguard have finally greenlit ETF access for brokerage clients. When BlackRock got involved and launched a filing back in 2023 and didn't get approved till January 2024 by the SEC under Gary Gensler, but when they originally got in, Vanguard said, we are not partaking in this. We do not want crypto. A year, 2 years later now, look, they're now getting involved. If BlackRock is Batman, this is Robin here. $10 trillion asset manager Vanguard, the second largest asset manager, literally just behind BlackRock, preparing to allow access to crypto ETFs on its brokerage platform. So we're seeing another massive institution getting involved right now. Adoption is progressing, demand for treasury companies remains strong, and streamlined US regulations. Looks like the House formally sent the Clarity Act to the Senate last Thursday, where it was referred to the Senate. This comes after the House voted to retroactively combine the Tom Emmer anti-CBDC bill into the Clarity Act last week. Again, nothing major, but just part of the process as the Senate is set to consider the bill alongside its own draft. So nothing major, but still progressing with regulatory legislation. Streamlining legislation in the United States, these are likely to act as a catalyst for at least certain segments of the market. We believe the current cycle has further to go, therefore meaning it will not stop at Q4 2025, 4-year cycle. It will elongate into 2026, potentially being the 5-year cycle, potentially ending in Q2. Again, it depends on how the macro and fundamental trends develop from there. This is what we have been talking about. And this is fantastic for Kaspa if you think about it. Smart contracts just coming out, Igra Labs, their public mainnet coming out in Q1 2026. The possibility of seeing VProx and Dagnite sometime in 2026, maybe Q2, Q3 as well. The fact that you're going to see KRI project out in Q4 this year, apparently. You'll see stablecoins coming on board. That gives therefore another 9 months for hopefully tier ones to finally launch Kaspa. Not to mention everything else, the adoption coming through, more institutional adoption, more ETF filings, more regulatory clarity. With the Clarity Act being approved, when that is approved, that creates clearer guidelines between the SEC and CFTC's jurisdictions. What is and is not a security, what is as in not a commodity. Kaspa is like Bitcoin, fair launch proof of work, therefore it is a commodity, therefore it will receive more institutional eyes at the very least, because it is not a security, therefore it's perceived as a safer investment. This is fantastic news. Having pretty much confirmation here, and we've been saying it, as much as I said, again, a month back or so, weeks back now, I was going to continually say I'll keep you updated because there's no definitive proof right now. We are now getting more and more definitive proof that the cycle has longer to go. Of course, yes, none of us got crystal balls here. This could very well act differently. Who knows? But I have very strong conviction in Kaspa, in crypto, in the fact that this cycle is going to extend past Q4 at the very least. And again, if you watch the Plan K series about the fourth turn we're currently in, that also suggests that we're always going to get this happening as well. We got this big update as well regarding Swift. They're launching a new major initiative to transform payments for consumers and small businesses. Working with some of the world's biggest banks, our new scheme will ensure that cross-border retail payments are as fast and predictable as domestic ones. Talking about ISO 20022 and blockchain technology effectively, today, 75% of payments traveling over our network reach beneficiary banks within 10 minutes. This is quick, but it could be quicker, of course, but it's not bad. Better than what it used to be. It used to be days. But more work is needed at the final stage of our payments journey, talking about it being within seconds, within crypto basically. The last mile to address friction that delays funds from being delivered to end beneficiaries. According to our latest research, the main root causes of these delays are complex reporting requirements, country specific FX and risk controls, lack of 24/7 real-time infrastructure, manual and fragment processes, and they'll be discovering and finding out more and more. I mean, my obvious maxi brain thinking, just choose Kaspa, because this could be done very easy, very seamlessly with its infrastructure and decentralized as well. That might be a future years down the line. But again, 75% right now. This is going to be 91% of all financial institutions will be on ISO 20022 by November, which is literally a month or so, a little over a month away from now. That's another major catalyst that some people know about, not enough are talking about. When pretty much all 11,000 banks that Swift are connected to will be connected to ISO 20022, connected to blockchain technology, the new messaging standard. Don't be emotional, be logical. We'll be talking about this time and time again. If you want to learn more, come join my free Discord server. We're talking about a lot more in there anyways, and you'll be able to partake in the conversation or just learn more in there. Or equally, you can level up your trading game and your understanding and investing game much more through the WOP VIP, where this sort of documentation here, this is one of hundreds of documents you've got in there, talking about the institutional sentiment regarding what they're looking at, regarding real world assets, AI, where they perceive the cycles going, all the information we cover every single week continuously, and equally trade alerts are much more in there as well. We've got C Crypto, our experienced trader, who's giving us some very in-depth market analysis as well, so we know and can predict where the cycle's going. If that interests you, again, links are down below in the description, and also all links are available in my free Discord server as well, so you can get access to everything in the free Discord server and get 7-day free trial as well. Or you get a 1-month free trial. You sign up to BYDFI, our affiliate exchange, no KYC, no VPN, regulated exchange. Click my affiliate link. Check out the links in the in the Discord server, and if you do that, reach out to me on Discord. I can give you a 1-month free trial with that as well. There's a lot more to learn in there, and we are trying our utmost to get ahead. And also, as a result of what we've learned in there, our conviction in Kaspa has increased, and crypto as a whole. You know, all of us have learned quite a lot in there, made better gains in there as well. But in Kaspa, it's increased because at the same time, us understanding that Kaspa hasn't moved just yet, we know and have been knowing the cycle's got longer to go. We know what they're looking at. We know what the institutions have their interest in right now. We believe that Kaspa will be able to tap into those markets, tap to the KRI and other elements as well. So that's the that's the fundamental part and some of the Kaspa part. I have not gotten to any of the questions, so let me, do this backwards now. Welcome everybody to the Quick Crypto and Coin Factory channel, my community, my family. Welcome back. Gosu, you were first. Welcome back, bro. And yes, definitely, if you enjoyed this content, smash the like buttons. You just made history. Give them a Kaspa. Let's like, share with your friends and subscribe for more. And welcome back, everyone. Yes, let's have a great weekend. I hope so as well. Welcome back, Dimitar as well, bro. You're doing very, very well. This video should be very interesting. Oh yeah. Interesting indeed. We've got a lot to cover. This stream will likely exceed an hour. I do plan to try and record a form of video for Kaspa, giving some form of update after this stream as well, so you get kind of a watered down version of what we spoke about in today's live stream, which again you'll see that come out later on. And then I'll probably end up making some form of tutorial videos, thanks to also the help of other people in the community to provide some answers as well. I know Chris Hutchinson's done some very, very good work, giving some tutorials on like how to connect your MetaMask wallet and whatnot, and how to utilize the layer 2, stuff like that, so you can get involved in every aspect as well. Welcome back, Adam Bates, bro. You're doing very, very well. Rip Mr. Bars, yeah, he'll be missed. Those who don't understand, he's joking, but yeah. Welcome back, Greg, bro. You're doing very, very well. Fourth indeed. Yeah, rip the UK. I know. Digital IDs. I know, I know. I'm just kind of, yeah. I'm trying not to think about it, honestly, but it's ridiculous. Don't know what Keir Starmer's doing. I don't know what he's doing, and the part I'm worried about, is that right now in the UK there's the Reform Party being led by Nigel Farage. I'm not a fan of him personally. I'm not going to get into why. I'm not talking too depth on politics. Not what I do here. I highlight it for crypto and finance purposes. I don't get into it too much detail. But my worry is this reform, alongside digital IDs, will give Nigel Farage way too much power. And that scares me. Pretty much, yeah. Welcome back, yeah, GF baby daddy. First American, first Coswaller. Welcome back, bro. Yeah, very scary indeed. Getting wild indeed. When do you guys get your chips? Honestly, I hope never, but at this point, it's probably next week. The UK is going down a dark path right now, just because they're losing control and they want to get more control. Honestly, I might as well just stick a needle in my arm at this point. Just track, so they can just track where I am 24/7. Welcome back, Crypt Tony Bro, who did in very, very well, man. And you too, Wing Hong Moon yet. Not yet, but soon enough, hopefully. Just got 136 Kaspa out of Kraken today. Love that, Andy, brother. Keep going, man. I love hearing the progression you're making with Kaspa as well. It's been a, honestly, as impressive journey as it has been with doing these streams every single day. So keep up the work, my man. Crypto, we know its power and no one else does. Exactly. Are you a furry, Jay? No, John Doe, I'm not a furry. But I appreciate the question. Welcome back, Falco, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well. LB on the check-in once more. Welcome back, my man. For Semper Fi, even with these news, not moved. Yeah, it was never going to move. I highlighted in my stream yesterday, the very best scenario I saw happening was kind of maybe pumping up to 10 cents or maybe 9 cents. 9 cents is my more realistic one. If it managed to surpass and hold 8 cents, then you see Kaspa probably pump up to here. However, we saw Bitcoin and crypto see another massive liquidation yesterday, seeing Kaspa come back down to 7.5 cents. So, of course, it was not going to do a massive God candle. It is a foundation building block update. If it was a listing, you'd see a much more bigger volatile spike because, you know, you can get, if it's Binance listing, you'll see a bigger spike because it's Binance listing. It's smart contracts. It's a foundation building block layer, and Kaspa is an organic project, not a VC-backed project. So it's not going to pump like that. It's not going to move like that. But again, as you've just hopefully heard, we've got a lot more time. So I wouldn't be worried about it. Although, again, that's just me. I just say don't be emotional, be logical. It's all BS. Keep buying the dip. Exactly, MVE. I mean, I know you might be joking. I can't tell right now. I'm seeing quite conflicting messages, but I do still believe in buying the dip. A big fat nothing burger. Yes, you're right, Nate Hart. Pretty much. Welcome back, Benedict. Kaspa, go pump-ish. We'll hopefully do so in due time. Yeah, let's go indeed. Ben, I'm really started to give up on Kaspa. Ada went mad on speculation about smart contract. Kaspa only manages 4%. What's the difference between Cardano and Kaspa? One had less competition last cycle. Also had VC backing the project to pump the price up higher as well. You're comparing apples to oranges. Comparison is the thief of joy. That is a very, very powerful saying. I never try and compare myself as an individual to my friends because some of them are doing very successful, and that could be very damaging to my mentals. Equally, that's why I try to refrain too much from comparing Kaspa to other projects. I'll still do it, highlighting the benefits it has and equally the negatives it has. The biggest negative, and frankly the only negative ever being, is price, due to them being VC backed. Sui's done fantastic. Why? Because it's a VC backed project that pumped the price. People like Raoul Pal have a lot of Sui. They've endorsed Sui. That's pumped the price. Sui's going to do a lot better this cycle as well because these people are going to pump the price more so, and they'll end up using you as extra liquidity most likely. Kaspa hasn't got that. If you want to make money quickly, you're entitled to want to do that. That's perfectly fine. And there are hundreds of projects out there that can do that. I've told everybody here I've done that myself. More so the long game of XRP because I got in when the lawsuit was still ongoing, but I made 7x in XRP and I'm still holding a little bit. I made gains in Sui before it pumped to $5-6. I've made my gains in meme coins, made my gains in other assets. I'm holding some BEC right now, which currently I'm actually neutral in. There are multiple different assets to get into in this space that can make you gains. But are you in Kaspa to make a quick buck, or are you in Kaspa for a different reason? It comes down to your incentive and your trading strategies, your investment strategies. I'm in Kaspa for making gains, of course, but I'm also in it because I do perceive Kaspa as being the most impactful asset in finance that's going to shake the very financial world to its core. The same way Bitcoin is shaking up the financial world, Kaspa's going to do the same thing at another big level. Comparison is the thief of joy. I never believed that Kaspa was going to do a God candle-like scenario like Cardano or smart contracts. I spoke about the possibility of that, hunting that Cardano did do a massive run from, less than 10 bill to 100 bill from the speculation before the launch of smart contracts, which just highlights the possibility that Kaspa, could always replicate that. But you've got to understand that they aren't the same project. One's a VC-backed project. One's a fair launch project. And we're also in a massively different cycle. Things right now are starting to shape bullish. They're now starting to look bullish. But it's not the same cycle. Even last cycle was an anomaly. Last cycle you saw Bitcoin peak in March or April, and then you saw it come down 50% before they're making a double top. That was an anomaly. And now this cycle, we're seeing it made a peak in August. And people right now are already calling for the cycle to be ended. Where we're seeing other speculation, other news, other sources that suggest that the cycle is going to go into 2026. And if that's the case, then why would I be worried about Kaspa when I know all the big catalysts coming out this quarter going into 2026 as well? You've got more time. I'm not trying to say hold your Kaspa. I, with respect and honesty, don't care what you do with your money. All I do in this community, all I do with these daily live streams is try to help you stay informed in the Kaspa space and the crypto space, hopefully allow you to become a better investor. Not because I'm a financial advisor, because I'm not a financial advisor, but hopefully I can help you become more knowledgeable to help you build up your trading strategies. That's what I teach in more detail to my VIP, because we have more information in there. We provide a lot more in-depth information in here regarding what's happening in this space, institutional sentiment, macro reports that allow us to therefore allocate ourselves accordingly. This is an educational channel. I'm not the moon boy who's been saying Kaspa's going to go to $10, $20. Because it's not the same project. We were millionaires telling you the extended cycles. We are in a recession. I can see it in my business. Unemployment going up, high interest rates and spiraling debt, dodgy bond market, none. I mean, yeah, again, you got to be very careful. I'm not believing wholeheartedly what Raoul Powell's saying, but that's also why I'm pairing with other institutional sentiment. If it was just him saying that, I'd have been like, okay, cool. This guy's very rich. He's been endorsed by a lot of projects. He's saying that to try and pump his bag more so, and they can use you as liquidity. Again, I've been transparent in saying that this is what I've been researching, what I have been finding out. It's what I'm optimistic about, but I still play reaction into the markets. I'll take props on the way up, as you should do to protect your own assets. Right now, there are many indicators, and those who are part of my VIP, in fact, I will paraphrase it, but there were 3 reports that came out yesterday regarding the Q2 GDP, the jobless claims, and then the PCE. All 3 of those macro reports heavily support the fact that the economy is starting to now re-accelerate, and we're now cutting rates into a re-accelerating economy. So if that is the case, then we have got more time. How much longer? Will it be until Q2 2025? I don't know. Nobody knows. He believes so, and maybe he's right. But who knows? All I do know is based on institutional sentiment and based on my own research that I've been doing, there is so many indicators that suggest that this cycle should extend. The institutional adoption, the M2 money supply, the treasury companies making treasuries for Bitcoin, for ETH, for XRP, for Solana, assets now being held, so therefore supply shocks coming through, and then regulations. Again, we still got the Genius Act to come through, and the Market Clarity Act, the Market Structure Bill to come through. So while your warning is completely justified, Dr. Plus, and you are right to say that, and you may even be right in the whole scenario of that, I am simply highlighting that we have no idea where we're going to go just yet, but there's becoming increasingly more information that this cycle has a possibility of extending. We may be in a recession, true. This would be the fourth turning. It wouldn't be unsurprising at all, actually. But we're now cutting rates into what seems to be a re-accelerating economy, which means that this Q4, at the very least, is going to be extremely bullish, and then either we'll see a massive crash in 2026, or it'll elongate a little bit into it and then fall off. We'll have to wait and see, though. There are a lot of catalysts to come out still, and again, I keep you all here as informed as I can be, and equally my VIPs, well, more informed ahead of the game. We're also trying to actively benefit and capitalize, making gains while the cycles are still taking their time to move, courtesy of trades and whatnot, and also find better entries as well. But again, if you want to find out more, 7-day free trial, all links down below in the description, and also in my free Discord server, which again, you can find the links to that on my homepage here and in the description. I never give up hope on Kaspa. What I just want you to understand is you're not early on Kaspa, regardless of all the hopium token dilution is real. Do your own research. I didn't have a lot of layer ones to compete against. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. You know? I still think we are early on Kaspa. I think we are early on Kaspa, but at the same time, ADA, yes, ADA had a massive pump due to VC backing, but also because it had less competition. Kaspa is competing against many other projects in the space who have got the VC capitals who are pumping their bags, and maybe even suppressing Kaspa as well. It's competing in a much harder space right now. But Kaspa is still holding. And I still believe it's going to do very well. I'm content to bag, hold Kaspa. Hyperinflation is coming. Buy Kaspa, Bitcoin, and or gold. Not a bad strategy at all, in my belief, Octo Plus. Butte Andy. Butte. What's up? Explain token dilution. I'm guessing you're referring that to Andy. If you wanted me to explain that. Well, token dilution would just be the case of more and more tokens coming out. You know? That's what wouldn't that just be the case of token dilution to be more and more tokens coming out? 3 cents incoming soon, knocking on too much support. We got many more support levels coming through Wednesday. We've got many more supports. We've got a support zone here where it's been traded at multiple times about 7.2, another one at 6.5, another one at 6. 5 cents is the very, very critical one here. We've got many support levels. I don't think 3 cents is coming. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I don't think 3 cents are coming. No comments of Binance listing holding this one back. Yeah, I mean, there is, of course, the speculation we spoke about and the joking session yesterday, of course, has not really amounted to anything. Are still very weird coincidences. Seeing the fact that Binance made posts about, governance by smart contract, what DAOs means for trust and coordination, just hours after the announcement of the countdown for Casplex mainnet. And then also that coincidence as well about the launch, this 26th being the same launch day for Casplex as well. Again, coincidences, they're nothing more than that. They're speculation. Coinbase and Binance, what they're doing when they're listing, we don't know. We don't know, but I'm sure we'll see it very, very soon. As I keep saying, but it's what I believe in. Now, we have got these 2 videos courtesy of Chris Hutchison. Absolute legend. Shout out to my boy, my man. I'm sure they'll provide even more information as time goes on, and I'll also do the same thing courtesy to the community, trying to provide some information and whatnot. But he has made a tutorial on how to bridge layer 1 Kaspa to layer 2. He's made a more video on how to do that as well, and equally with another video tutorial here on how to add Kaspa layer 2 network to your Kaspa wallet or your MetaMask wallet. So shout out to Chris for that. Chris to see right there. I'll be linking both of these in my free Discord server in the Kaspa channel, and I'll also pin them there. So if you need a tutorial, need extra help, Chris Hutchison's been doing his his service to the community, and I will equally be providing my own tutorials and videos for FAQs throughout the coming days and weeks as well. In other news, we have got this other document here from Kaspa Commons. We've got two from Kaspa Commons actually. This one I think is the most important aspect as well. It's a summary of Michael Sutton here. Michael Sutton made a post yesterday on a few points that comes to mind this evening in no particular order. Everything's laid down here, and I, for video content, reading this word for word would be quite mind-numbing and boring. So I love Kaspa Commons for making a short version of this, so we can just get through it very nippy. The short version of what Michael Sutton said here was Kaspa as of today, sequencer and data layers, so transactions, KRC, Cassia, all that stuff, all just payloads. No layer 1 settlement yet. Layer 2 interpret data. Layer 1 doesn't verify. Pre-ZK bridges can't be fully trusted. So it's just highlighting that Casplex, they can't be fully trusted without ZK. We know that anyways. Without ZK bridges even. We can't know that anyways. Layer 2 only tokens still fine. It's like any standalone EVM. Decentralization needs open source plus independent validators. Casplex launch will win either way, because either it shows success or the hiccups that may happen will be a learning experience and does not reflect on Kaspa core. Again, people have become so, I guess, warped or maybe just misaligned, thinking that if Casplex fell, Caspa's going to go to zero. Casplex is not a representation of Kaspa. They are third party building smart contracts on top of Kaspa. Kaspa and Casplex are not the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. In regards to R&D, Dagnite implementation is taking shape. That is fantastic news to hear. So who knows, maybe in the chance that Raoul Powers may be right, in the possibility we do get an extended cycle, or even if we don't, we see the pullback, as expected in Q4, which many are predicting. So I still think we see it in 2026, personally. Either way, Dagnite will be coming out likely in 2026. It's taking shape. That's great stuff. And the VPROG yellow paper plus Rust prototypes are in the work. So right now we are seeing increasing developments take place at Kaspa. We are early. The interpretation for me that Kaspa is not early is one that I think is purely based on the price alone. Because you look at Kaspa as a project and you think about what's still to come out, smart contracts have just gone online. You've got IGRA smart contracts, you've got Project Sparkle, you've got the native smart contracts in regards to VPROGs. You've got KRI launching the enterprise project, and they've got, tens of them. You've got Dagnite. You've got tier 1 listings. I've got 6, 7 fingers cut off my hands right now. You've got 7 other catalysts still to come out in the next year or so. And you've got then you've got MEV resistance. And you've got the Oracle system regarding DAOs and governance and whatnot. That's 9 catalysts still to come out. Those are going to be significant for Kaspa and making it more decentralized, more trustless, giving you more sovereignty, making it more efficient, making it grow more in adoption. That kind of the reason the KRI got involved in the first place. So as a project, Kaspa is extremely early. Extremely early. The price, maybe not so. It's, 4 years on now. The price does not look healthy. Although I guess it depends on your purview. Because there's not really any projects in this space that has almost 40,000 up from launch. Not many projects in this space are 40,000% up from launch. If any are. Of course Bitcoin is, but there aren't many that are up this much from launch. Of course, that's hypothetical. If you got in at, the very beginning, then yeah, you're up massively. Of course, most of us didn't. Many of us didn't. But Kaspa is still extremely early as an asset. Returning to all-time highs for me is very, very achievable in the coming months. Not to mention what's to follow that as well. And we've got this post here, another one for Kaspa Commons. Shout out to Chad. Kaspa is not only faster digital money, it is emerging as the first universal programmable settlement layer of the digital age where money markets and data converge securely and decentralized at scale. So in the document that he published just yesterday, talks about store of value, mean of exchange, and POS, point of sale, I believe it was referring to this one. He's not, or maybe he misspelled, maybe SOS, standard settlements. I think he misspelled that. I think he meant SOS there. Yeah, SOS, not POS. Okay. Mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, but here you go. So you got, yeah. Throughout history, money has been judged by two essential roles, store value and medium of exchange. Of course, Bitcoin does not achieve to that. It only has that. Where Kaspa, we're seeing right now, if you look at Kaspa right now, of course it has gone down. You need to look at that right now. You can look at the inactive supply for the last 3 months. Of course, it's moved right now recently, but even then, look at the last 3 years. People are using Kaspa right now as a store of value. You know? 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months. People are increasingly using Kaspa store of value right now, and of course, the Move Exchange has the speed to do that as well. The third role is standard of settlements, has historically been a responsibility of infrastructure rather than money itself. Gold and precious metals acted as long-term store of values. Fiat became the Move Exchange, and central banks, clearing houses, and interbanks became the standard of settlement. But Kaspa has the ability to be all three with its secure layer 1. That's only going to continue going up more and more. The trilemma solver, secure, scalable, and decentralized. You know, with a fixed supply, finite, like gold, like Bitcoin, proof of work tied to the creation of mining, which is energy, which is how value should be determined. You know, other projects have attempted to position themselves store values, Litecoin, Monero, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, but they all just lack what is necessary for that. Kaspa is in the position right now, not as a competitor to Bitcoin store value dominance, but as the project that completes the other two essential functions of money and settlement, which will eventually allow it to surpass Bitcoin in the future. You know, there's so much more to come in regards to that element there. And this is once more why we are so early again with Kaspa. There's still so much more to come out. If you have not read through this document, I highly recommend doing so. Kaspa unites all three. Historically, the functions of money and the systems that support it have always been split. Gold and later Bitcoin demonstrated the store of value, while fiat currencies, dollar, pound sterling, are the mean of exchange. Central banks and clearing houses are the responsibility of settlement infrastructure. No single framework has ever unified all three. Bitcoin remains the most recognized store of value right now, especially because it's very, you know, it has a much higher ROI than gold, especially right now, but is limited as a mean of exchange and cannot scale into a standard of settlement. Other projects have attempted to fill these roles, often relying on layer 2 networks or trading of decentralization for throughput, like Ethereum, for example, or Litecoin, for example. Kaspa is different. Fixed supply proof of work provide store of value credibility. Its block-like architecture enables real-time, low-cost transactions, making it practical for a mean of exchange, and its programmability through DAG-Knight coming out, again, progressing quite nicely from what we've seen from Michael Sutton here, taking place. Alongside the VProgs, which again also, Yellow Paper has been drawn up more and more, positions it as the standard of settlement that extends beyond money into data, processes, and enterprise coordination. And it is all as the layer 1. Casplex, great, they're on board now. They are not representation of Kaspa. They are hopefully going to leverage Kaspa to help their own standard, but they are not a representation of Kaspa as the project. Casplex need Kaspa. Kaspa did not need Casplex. Understand that. I'm going to say it again. Casplex need Kaspa. Kaspa does not need Casplex. Understand that. It's great. Casplex is now live. I'm happy. Hopefully things will be smooth. Hopefully see more come on board. But Kaspa, when you get these VProgs coming up, download coming out, Casplex will be a layer 2 addition. But Kaspa will be where everything truly takes place. In other news, Lightbeam, shout out to Cody for letting me know about this. The order book decks on Kaspa. Basically, we're seeing, you know, the next hyperliquid of sorts coming soon to Casplex and Nego Labs. The way Cody explained it's like basically like the next Asta, if you will, coming to Kaspa in the future. Again, hopefully they're acting in good faith. Always do your own research. We're seeing more and more building taking place on Kaspa. The social network, basically the Twitter page thing. They're now allowing you to block users now, so more developments coming through as well. Kaspa DeFi, Kaspa.com are now live. The leading launchpad and DEX on Kaspa right now. So again, that's also great stuff here as well. What's next? KF, Kaspa's coming to Singapore for Token 2049 a week. The event presented by CoinCore.io, hosted by KEF, with other partners including Fireblock and Falcon X Global. We're thankful to all the ongoing support. A leading options exchange being CoinCore, with over 70 altcoins that have supported Kaspa since the early days. It's going to be taking place in 4 days' time. But more importantly, the next big thing, we can see KF announced here, announcing Curve, the Kaspa EVM bridge project. Curve is developed by an independent team in stealth mode for now, funded by KEF. Again, do your own research if you want to trust it or not. But Johnny highlights here, the next big thing will be seeing hashtags on Polinsky in London, December 3rd to 4th, which I actually will, as it stands right now, I do plan to be attending. So that will be very cool. And maybe he'll talk about VProgs or Layer 1. We'll have to wait and see in December. He will be introducing the Kaspa Data Asset Treasury Strategy stock there as well. Again, more stuff being built on Kaspa. It took a bit longer than we expected to deploy the bridge, so the delay of Kaspa's launch was on us. They were ready on time. Still, I think it is worthy to wait as we avoid issuing other new coins. Yes, the Layer 2 coin will be a coin, because that is a completely new chain with its own coin, not just a token on Kaspa, nor will we bring the ETH zero-sum Layer 1 to Layer 2 conflict. I don't know how to say that. Let me quickly Google translate that. I'll be honest, I want to say that right. But yeah, I mean, that's just my inability to speak English. But again, you're seeing the stuff coming through right now. Well, conflict, I'm guessing. Yeah, I think it was just conflict, but he's just misspelled it. Would make sense. Layer 1, Layer 2, canonical conflict to Kaspa. Point being is, again, this is what's coming next for Kaspa right now. We have the Curve, the EVM bridge project. You also have Soplinsky, who'll be talking in London about VProgs, about the Layer 1 process. We know that things seemingly are going smoothly right now, progressing now, which is great stuff to see right now. And we again still have more to come. You know, Kaspa nodes have grown to 367 as today, growing more and more. We've got this video that I will be playing, which is the dev-based Solana mentioning Kaspa here. So I'm playing that in a moment here. Him just basically talking about Kaspa and the benefit it has of a Bitcoin as well. Again, I'm not worried about the price. I never expected the price to explode. You're seeing Kaspa perform a lot better than most other assets today because of smart contracts. But it takes time. Adoption takes time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Just think the overall market cap and divide that into all the meme coin Layer 2s, Layer 1 and scams created every day. I think I've kind of missed the point of what you're getting towards, Art0. In regards to all the other assets, when you look at crypto as a project, 90% of the total crypto market cap here is derived of Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Solana, and Cardano. You know, over 90% of this market is derived pretty much in those assets. There's still a fair amount of capital that's in the scams and whatnot you think about, but majority of the market is based on just the top 5. Of course, majority of it actually is just solely Bitcoin. But yeah, you see stuff created every single day. You'll see more coming out, but at the same time, you'll see a lot fall off in the future as well. What happened in the UK? A new law was put out or whatever by the Prime Minister to basically create digital IDs as opposed to just your standard, you know, driving license or whatever. You now got a digital ID. So anything you want to basically do online now, you've got to prove your digital ID. So yeah, just terrible, really. Yeah, that's also very true. Think about the post we saw yesterday from that Cardano fella who are saying Cardano family, let's rally against Kaspa, who's heard of this project anyways. Kaspa beat Cardano in the Moon Madness. It's like, I've never heard of it, but fair play, I've now bought a big bag of Kaspa. So many people don't even know a Kaspa yet. But those who do are getting interested. And again, I'll show the case this video in a moment to further explain why Kaspa so early and why, we shouldn't be panicking right now, especially if the cycle does extend as I'm hoping and predicting it will do. And again, a smart money is saying so as well. Again, that's my prediction, it's my belief, my hope. It's not confirmation because nobody knows unless you're actually the smart money who control the cycles and you do what you want. But information that I've looked into suggests this much. And by the way, while this is what Raoul Powell's saying to the masses, and yes, he's a billionaire, be careful what he says, this here is an institutional research document they're telling to their enterprise clients. They're not telling us this. It's stuff that I've been able to get a hold of. And I've showcased it publicly. I don't showcase many of my sources, but I'm going to start showcasing a few more publicly, but I don't showcase a lot of them publicly. This one I have done. And there's a lot more that I've got privately in here as well, because, stuff they're showing to their own clients, I don't want to, potentially get any penalization for that stuff as well. I've got to be careful my own way. But this is what they're telling their enterprise clients, what they're telling their smart money, what they believe is going to happen right now. And they're saying to their buddies, the cycle could probably extend. Not telling us that, telling their friends that. So I think has a lot more importance than we give it credit for. We have digital ID in Dubai. It's not a problem the way they use it. But again, I've not been to Dubai. I don't know too much about it, but I imagine you've got leaders who won't abuse that power. In the UK, they will abuse that power very badly. I know they will, because everyone who's currently trying to run to lead the UK are, you know what? Let me not talk politics. Let me get back to the questions real quick. Good evening, Brett, bro. You're doing very, very well, man. Why is there no listing, no wallet to donate to get a listing to? There have been occasions in the past, Eric, with Kaspa members trying to rally the community fund to basically pay for a listing. But every time they've done a community fund to get the capital for a listing, it never reached the target, because right now no one wants to give up their Kaspa to pay for a listing, because, well, who wants to do that right now? Because the price is down. That's the difficulty with being an organic project, community funded project, because you have people who are not wanting to part from their bags, understandably. Not everyone's going to be so generous to give out, their hard-earned cash for. And I wouldn't even say for the greater good. I wouldn't, because I do generally think the premise of paying for a listing would be probably, in the long run it'd be okay, but in the immediate short term I think it'd be quite bad for Kaspa, actually. Because you've got to think about it in the sense of a bonus listing for Kaspa or a coin listing for Kaspa would pump the price. Yes, it would. But if they are paid for a listing, if they're given the money, they don't care, and they have no incentive to make sure the project does really, really well. They don't care. They've been given their paycheck anyways. They'll launch it, they'll forget about it. It'll be good, and in the long run, when that doesn't become so, impactful or matter, but in the immediate short term, that will more than likely cause a pump and dump, which you've seen with every other project and meme coin and rubbish that's launched on these exchanges. If these big exchanges are having to accumulate it themselves, when they eventually decide to list it, they're going to want to make sure that they're making bank off that investment. Buying it themselves, they want to make sure it rallies so high. So it's better in that regard, therefore. The only listing we paid for was MEXC. Think about that. The only listing that Kaspa's paid for, courtesy of Wolfie, he did it out of his own pocket. They paid for a MEXC listing. And people in this community hate MEXC because they continuously manipulate the price of Kaspa. Why not so worse at price manipulation? Do you want to pay them so they could do it bigger and worse than MEXC? No. Why would you? It's just a matter of time, really. Yeah, just give it time. And equally, yes, when Kaspa has its own deck, you could probably just go through there if you wanted to. But just because Marathon know of it doesn't mean that everybody knows about it. You say that Art Zero, we are in a very, very small bubble. And that's the problem when you're in a bubble. You don't realize how small it is. The amount of conversations, if you're in the general real world, so many people don't even know about crypto, about Bitcoin, let alone Ethereum, let alone Kaspa. And then when you're in the crypto space and you know about Bitcoin, it's changing now, and they're starting to know more about Kaspa because Kaspa's being a loudmouth, as we can be, because we are proving all Bitcoiners wrong. But a lot of people don't know about Kaspa. Or if they do, they've heard it by name and that's it. They don't know anything about the project. Or the proof of work. Okay, cool. They don't understand that Tom Polinsky is someone who has been quoted in numerous white papers for Ethereum, for Cardano, for Litecoin, by the Bank of the Dallas Fed, the Bank of Finland. Like, they don't understand the actual accolades that Tom Polinsky has, the developers behind Kaspa, and what they're building. We do, because we're in the bubble. We know Marathon launched Kaspa and they can't do anything other the shareholders say so. They did it, BlackRock gave the go ahead, basically. We know that. That's great. But because they know, it doesn't mean that everybody knows about it. Again, I'll load up that post, and this is just a post just to show, because again, this is a very, very common look here. It's a very, very common thing that we still see now. This is ridiculous. Who has even heard of Kaspa? It's just Jake Libby. He's not a massive, he's just a Cardano maxi. But there's so many people in this space that just don't have an inkling of a clue about Kaspa. By name, let alone by what the project actually is. We do. Most don't. Just because they had a very good rally. Again, think about it. How many projects have had a very, very good rally? I can remember projects like Quant. Not this Quant, the real world asset Quant. The one that kid was shilling and then dumped on people. I remember that because, I got into that and I made gains off that, actually. But there are so many assets that make a massive, massive pump. And, but people just forget about it. Kaspa's so early. It is unbelievably early. Kaspa LFG on Kaspa.com has a project called Casta that is coming out to go against Asta and Hyperliquid. Oh, interesting. Let's see if they can really compete. That'd be a very, very big thing. Although, at the end of the day, at the same time, what we need first and foremost is for Kaspa to do well, for anything else really to function and rally as well. Vaultcoin and Putty Penguins make it Coinbase first. Yeah, because they pay for the listings. They're paying for listings. They're giving Coinbase their tokens or just straight up USDT or just straight up cash to list on their project because they got it. And their memes are rubbish. Of course they are. Not in the crypto space, as you look at the top 50, top 100 assets, and if they have a Binance or Coinbase listings, 99, if not all of them, have paid. The only assets in this top bracket that have not paid for a listing on Binance is Bitcoin. Maybe Ethereum, I'm not too sure about that. I know it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin was there before the exchange listings. Otherwise, pretty much everything else here in the top rankings would have paid their way onto a major exchange. 100%. And they've got VC to keep the price up. Kaspa is not the same project. Again, comparison is the thief of joy. If you keep comparing Kaspa to other projects and complaining about the price, it's going to end up hurting you in the long run. You need to understand exactly what it is you're holding. If you think what you're holding is not worthwhile, then that's your choice to get out of it. That's perfectly fine. But comparison is the thief of joy. Kaspa is not to be compared to the likes of Sui or Ethereum or Bitcoin. While you can make comparisons, if you're going to make comparisons, compare the technology, not the price. Because when you're going to compare the price, you've got to think about why the price is different. One's an organic, community-funded project. One is backed by VCs who pump the price. Then you understand that comparing price makes no sense. Remember as well, as I checked at the very beginning, in regards to the FMSB, 95% of cryptos lack underlying value. Underlying assets, they lack it. Meaning, effectively, 95% of the cryptos are going to go to zero when the time's right. The crypto culling is going to happen. Kaspa, while its price is terrible. The community that we are, while we're frustrated with the price, enough of us who are in the community at this point now are in it because we do believe this project is going to solve real financial issues. We believe this. That's why we're in Kaspa for the most of us. A lot of us still aim to make gains, of course. We think the gains are going to come because of this. So we alone will keep the project alive. Everyone will get out who are paper hands, it's perfectly fine. They'll go to where the money is, trade the green candles, it's perfectly fine. And then Kaspa will make its run up. Bitcoin had problems the early days as well. Kaspa's no different. What do you think about SompG? Not heard about it. I'm guessing it's KRC. I'm not too well versed with KRCs. It's not there. Is it just a natural meme? When I can actually type. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Brother, I've never heard of it at all, so no idea. Did I spell it wrong here? No, I just don't know. No idea, brother. No, people don't know about it still. Yeah, no one knows about it. Yeah, exactly. If you look at if you watch the Moon Madness live stream, which we did link and showcase the video of that in the free Discord server. I think it was Greg that posted it in there. You can literally see it's on Tim Warren's channel. Yeah, like he's saying there, they're literally confused as to why Kaspa beat Cardano, and now they're buying it. Yeah, completely right. They have no idea. I have not heard of it, and I don't see any project or any token regarding that. Maybe more will come out in the future, but right now I have no idea. Maybe I'm missing it, but I don't know what it is right now. Maybe that's my own ignorance, and I apologize if I'm being ignorant for this. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I don't see it here. So please inform me if there's something I'm missing. These are the ones who suck at retail during the Cardano run. Yeah, pretty much. That's why you can't compare Kaspa smart contract to Cardano smart contract. We know they're better. We know they're decentralized. We know they're safer, but it's not the same project. Welcome, Miles. Bro, you're doing very, very well. Welcome back to me, my man. Capital 10 cents in 2026. I mean, who knows? I think we could surpass that, but who knows? I just want to get the previous all-time high so I can sell and trade the new hot coins like Asta. Issue I have for tech, hold for life. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do, Art, that's fine. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to do the same thing to you as well, who just want to get out of the project. But end of the day, you got to understand this cycle's maturing and changing. Again, this documentation is so. This is why I started the stream with this documentation here, because 95% of cryptos are going to go to zero. Will Asta be the one that survives? This cycle is maturing from get rich quick, follow the hot coins, to finding real utility tokens that are going to last the long run. So you just want to do that, brother, by all means go for it. I'm not going to say what you do. You do your own as your investor. But I personally believe that Kaspa's going to do that and then some, and surpass a lot of people still. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. Kryptoni SompG is a smart contract token on the Kaspa.com LFG DEX. Go check it out on stream. Okay, I'll do that. Do it right now. When it wants to load, I think my piece is about to brick out knowing it. Okay, what's going on here? Smart contract token on Kaspa.com. Before I just click the DEX to show up here, DEX is showing it's in this though. Select token. I mean, it's probably just come off if I type that in here. Somp. Oh, that there, Ganta Sompolinsky, right? So that's SompG. This is the DEX. So yeah, if you go onto here, you click DEX there, you load up here, you can connect your wallet, and translate your Kaspa, and select SompG here. So yeah, Smart contract token on the Kaspa LFG DEX. I mean, I'm definitely missing something. You can tell me again. I have not properly delved into the Kaspa DEX things just yet. I was planning to do all of that over this weekend once the Casplex my plan was once the Casplex mainnet properly come out and enough information came out about it, I then start getting more involved into it. So I've not checked too much into it just yet. I'm gonna quickly see if there's anything else that I've missed. If there's anything else that I've missed, Cryptony, then please inform me. But otherwise, then that is SompG there. So at least I can see SompG now. Obviously, yeah, you're saying it's a smart contract token. So in regards to asking questions, is it just it's not then a KRC effectively then it's like something that's needed to be utilized, or is it just a smart contract token? Is a meme token but on the smart contract as opposed to on KRC instead? Then click LFG at the top there. Oh, I'm so blind. I apologize. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I am. I just put my glasses on, honestly. There you go. Wow. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. This looks like. What does it look like? I'm trying to think of it. It's not Pump Fund. It looks like Bulex. It looks like Bulex. I showed as Bulex once upon a time. They've now rebranded, and I've not got that new Bulex just yet. But Bulex is, yeah, it looks very, very cool. Okay, so the Casper community top G, SompG. Okay, I like the sound of that. It's cute. And Castor as well. KST, bridging perpetuals to Casper layer 2, LFG. Okay. Okay, I like the sound of it. It's cool. It's an EVM smart contract bridge. Right, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I definitely am going to spend some time over this weekend and the course of next week just to familiarize myself more with all the stuff as well. So you can see here, this is what SompG has done so far. But whoa, that's a pump. Oh, and yeah, it unlocks the 7 days. Right, I see. Click on cast and look at the chart. Oh wow. Those who go on early. Again, those who are willing to take the so-called risk, if you will, to participate in the early launch of the mainnet. Again, you're more entitled to. If anything, you maybe should do, but that's up to you. You do your own research. But if you get into this stuff early and you find the so-called right project, I mean, yeah, as you got in down here, like, do I get the ability to load up? I can't. I want to see if I can get access to the tools or not. No, okay. I want to see if I can get access to the tools or not, but I can't. But yeah, we've got very, very big pump from there already. Look at pump as well. But yeah, it's doing great stuff right now. But yeah, I mean this is the meme. This is the kind of the meme market as it's highlighted here, meme. But yeah, this is meant to be an EVM smart contract. Castor again aiming to be the Aster and Hyperliquid. So you can see how it does right now. I mean, market cap right now 162. That's 16,000. 162,000. You can see how much they've changed over the last day or so. It's done very well. We'll have to see again. It's Casper's still really early, and of course, the understanding this bar here is the same. We're kind of like minting out. Once it has enough, it will go live. I'd imagine if it's similar to Pump Fund in that regard. Therefore, God shy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're going to see a lot of these derivatives as well coming out as well. That's cool. Scam, crazy, yeah. Some will make it, some won't, and some will be rug pulls. As anything. So just be very careful what you invest into. Be very careful because some of these will not be safe. That's the nature of it being kind of open source and stuff like that. You can kind of just do what you want. That's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to spend some more time looking through the stuff right now and understanding it more. That's very, very cool. And I'll probably end up making videos on it in the future as well. Thank you, man, for letting me know. Again, it's exciting seeing stuff coming to Kaspa right now, honestly. Kobe as well, damn. Okay, just getting kind of silly stuff. Oh, Da Vinci, I'm gonna have to get some of that, surely. Surely the cast dab. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. Not rug. Right. Right, Casta and Somji, those two make sense. Those two make sense. Those doing very, very well. We'll see if we have a lot more coming through. I'll get some more questions real quickly. Damn, there's a lot being asked. I love this. I love this. Casta Mooney. The Casta right now is doing insane. You can see that. I just showcased that. Yeah, Casta right now mooning, doing very well. And again, you know, I mean, obviously, you may be top last in this you got in right now. I did fail to break that, so who knows? Again, if anything, you know, Casplex is early. If you want to participate, go for it. Like, have a little bit of fun with it. If you're going to connect, my only, not advice, it's not financial advice, but only thing I would say is what I would do is I wouldn't connect my main wallet. I'd create a separate Casper wallet and send the money that I'm willing to actually, you know, quote unquote risk into that wallet. And then for my Tangerman, then I would only connect that wallet to this. You should do that with anything anyway. Only connect your wallet that you're, you know, willing to get quote unquote risk. Because again, if you get into one of the wrong projects, one of the wrong memes, they might be able to somehow get a hold of your information and just take everything out of there. So be very careful. If you want to partake in this, be a part of the community who currently, you know, spending a lot of transactions right now on Casplex, then go all for it. But we're still very early, so don't stress too much if you miss these sort of casters and Swamp Gs. Well, I mean, who knows? You'll see, and I say who knows, you'll probably end up seeing other projects in the future that are like similar in some regard. Did you get some yellow? I did, an 8x a day. No. Is yellow here? I now got to check so many things when people ask me. So no, so yellow's not there. I've got to check KRC. We're actually okay. So yeah, yellow's a KRC. Yeah, I've not got into that. First I've heard of it. I mean, AX is fantastic. Hopefully it continues doing well for you. Yes, I mean it's done fantastic from its launch earlier today. Well, that says 12%, so maybe I'm not looking at the right yellow. Actually, I probably am not, am I? There are so many markers to take into account. Is it Dex Screener? I'm gonna have to start asking people, is it on Kaspa, or is it on Solana, or is it on Ethereum right now? I'm guessing you're talking about this. No, can't be talking about that. Yeah, there's so there's too many cryptos. There are too many cryptos. Just stick with Casper, honestly. Oh my lord. With all respect to Octoplus, I've been hearing that we are in a recession for most of my life. Yeah, same. We're always in a recession, so you know, I take it with a grain of salt. I don't disagree. The macro suggests we could be in one, but at the same time, we could be in there for a long time as well. So who knows? Yeah, Casper's looking the same right now. Yeah, great stuff to see, honestly. Token dilution doesn't apply to Kaspa. That was my point. Apologies for the vague statement. It's all good. It's all good. And then yeah, I mean yeah, Kaspa being it's got a finite supply, so it can't get diluted. Exactly. Mr. Mars Bitcoin has gone up because of Wall Street adoption, off in the bear market because retail are struggling with high rents because of living in crisis. Partly yes, but also because the Wall Street are suppressing us. You know, partly yes, but it's not as black and white as that. There are an ample amount of reasons as to why we're struggling. you're definitely right. I'm not disagreeing, but there's more than just that. It's not as black and white as that. Welcome back, Double D, bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. You shouldn't have expected the ride. I didn't. I prefer taking the train to destination for fun and freedom. Oh yeah, so do I. Then you take the plane to go up in the air without knowing what the landing will be like. I agree. Very, very, very nice analogy there. No God Candle, didn't expect it. You shouldn't have expected it. It'll be a hopeful rally. I don't expect you might even see Kappa go down tomorrow because again, Bitcoin is not in that position right now to rally. It's below 110k. When Bitcoin surpasses 118k, everything will start rallying. Do we get blacklisted? Or we were going to do it on exchanges? I don't think so, but who knows? I hope not. I was waiting to catch the wave of nothing. I mean, you got time. We're below 8 cents Kaspa. You know, Kaspa's going to pump to all-time highs, and it's going to be Kaspa's time to shine. You're going to sell some who think 20 cents is cheap Kaspa. Asta's going to dump at proof of stake, go into the bear market, and the rest is history. I mean, that's a very possible timeline. Very, very possible. It's again just knowing what you hold at the end of the day. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs and do what they want, but up to you. I think you mean 2027 there. I'm assuming. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, 2027. Yeah, I mean that would be an insane pump in 2 years, basically. Or basically even a year now. Don't know if that is realistic, but again, what do I know? I haven't got a crystal ball. Maybe it happens, and that'd be fantastic if it did. $10, yeah, a bit more achievable, of course. It's a lower value. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Coinbase is 9% of US crypto traders and Binance the rest of the world, known as by Kaspa. Very right, very right, very right indeed. Exactly. Without the top tier exchanges, most of the again, even just me right now, I didn't know about this. I'm not delved too much into this myself. That's my ignorance. Again, I plan to do it, after, and even probably partake a little bit after the dust has settled a little bit. But I mean, yeah, like Casper's still very much undervalued and unknown. Most of the world only use Binance or Coinbase. They don't use a Ledger. They don't use Tangent wallets. They don't use Kraken. They don't use Crypto.com. They don't use MEXC. They don't use Coop. They don't use any. Besides, most just only use Binance and Coinbase. And the smart money, the whales tend to use Coinbase. If they haven't listed Kaspa yet, most holders not know about Kaspa. So again, I wouldn't stress about Kaspa's adoption. At least is lack of adoption understandable. I wouldn't worry about where it can go until we get those listings. If we get the listings and then it's doing badly, then sure, maybe you could be concerned. Even then, I still wouldn't be though. The bridge works is legit. Oh, that's good to hear. I mean, again, I've been looking through some sources. I basically just wanted to wait again till the dust settled for like this weekend. Let everyone have their fun this weekend, and I'll look through it myself this weekend over the next week, and then get involved where I can do and look into it more. But yeah, the stuff I'm seeing right now, it looks cool. They got a description about it. Again, it's just me trying to look more into what it is right now, and it's being perpetuals to Casper Layer 2, LFG, and then also I wonder if there's more about it. Because I know you mentioned it's meant to be a EVM swap, but I'm just trying to see where the information about it actually is. You can create a token here. So yeah, look, that's what I mean. That's why you got to be very, very careful about what you buy into. Because look, you literally got the option right here on the left, create a token. You can create a token however you want. You create a token however you want. So you've got to be very careful what you connect it to, because there'll be rugs. This is basically a Casper version of Pump Fund. And I don't say it's for it to be negative, because I love Casper.com. But I don't think it is going to be a pump fund. This is basically to give you an analogy. It's just basically like a pump fund for Kaspa. You've got a DEX option here, which chart is not available. For the next one, you've got leaderboard, so you can see what's doing well right now. Those are the top 3 right now. All the stuff has been doing very well as well. Yeah, it's been cool stuff. Alert bots, they're really, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot more look into this over the next week or so, definitely. Huge amounts of institutional money is going to hit the crypto market next year because of all the government legislation. Crypto adoption is coming. I agree. Completely agree. $20 ETH to $2,000 ETH is no different. Yeah, true. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, he's talking about, yeah, $10 is a moonshot. I mean, $10 Kappa is a massive rally, no doubt. But again, I understand Tony is very optimistic because he's obviously someone who saw and was even there with ETH rallying the way it did. And if it can do that in theory, why couldn't Kaspa? I mean, I don't personally. I mean, I don't outward. Oh wow, that's insane. Damn. Yeah, that's insane. We'll just have to wait and see how Kaspa goes. You know. It could be a few years out, yeah. But I mean, if you're again, think about when you're investing, most people who invested before crypto, it was stocks and bonds. Those are year-long investments. So the problem is people were so sucked into the get-rich-quick scheme for crypto that now they're like, oh, it's going to take 5 years to make my money back. That's too long. That's what you normally have to wait for. But people have been so warped into the get-rich-quick. People who got into like LFG, for example, here, 40,000% up. You know, you're laughing. Obviously, it's come back down right now. I'm going to probably do so as well. But yeah, you're laughing right now. You got in down here. The bonding curve's not completely done yet. So you have to be a bit more invest. So yeah, if basically, yeah, so here's what I think. So this is basically pump fund. So the bonding curve is basically referring to how much money's in the project. So if right now it's down here, if I imagine it just got very, very close. Because once it reaches the bonding curve, like it basically means that it'll be launched, like officially. So if this LFG can reach and surpass this, imagine this area here, the bonding curve will fill out, and then it will unlock. But you can see again, you can see the top holder. So I imagine that being the dev, how much he holds. You can see it in regards to Castor here as well. It's a bit of a pump for tutorial, honestly. The curve burn address here as well. You can see what that's there for as well. The bonding curve already filled out, which means that it will be fully unlocked and launched in a week. To be able to actually just buy it, therefore, well, on the Kaspa.com like market, if you will, open market. We'll see a lot more coming, I'm sure. Well, hopefully we'll see all the prices in the future as well. QC Prime Minister, honestly, yeah, I do a lot better job than Keir Starmer right now, no doubt. QC, quick crypto, that's me, my man. Did I miss the live? I could have sworn you went live earlier. Maybe I need a solid break from the internet. Yeah, no, I already just started going live. Well, it's actually almost been an hour and a half now. I said it could be a long stream today. Now just get through the QA section. Don't have to drive it up with exchange listings. If you want to do that, brother, go for it. But me personally, I'm not going to personally contribute to an exchange listing. That's just me. If people want to collectively come together to list Kaspa and pay for a listing, you're welcome to. I'm not going to say no. Do as you like. I personally won't. I don't want to. I believe they're going to launch when they're ready. I'm happy to wait. I'm more than happy to wait. That's just me though. I saw CG say it as well. Crypto Galaxy. He was like, "Oh, we need listings." If CG, because the Galaxy wants to list it for Kaspa, he's more than happy to create a community fund for his own community himself and pay for a listing. He can do it. Kaspa is a community funded project. It's not owned by the devs. It's not owned by anybody. If we want listings, we've got to pay for it. But there's no point in complaining and asking about other people to pay for it. And it's not me. This is me outwardly just saying. I'm not coming at you, Eric. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to attack you here. But if people are going to complain about a lack of listings, then in a regard, then it's kind of you, the individual, you're complaining about yourself because we are the ones responsible for listings. If we want a listing ASAP, we've got to band together to pay for it. That's one thing that did irk me a bit about CG's post about the devs need to focus on listings and whatnot, yada yada yada. I'm like, it's a community project. If you want a listing, you pay for it. Like that's what it comes down to. It's not Tom Belinsky and Michael Sutton's job. They're just developers, you know. No, they're on Kaspa.com Dex LFG. What have I missed now? Oh, that's okay. I'm getting circling back now. Cool. Because he just wanted to pump his bags. Sure, if that's what you want to believe. Honestly, I mean, I'm just gonna say no. But again, it's just actions speak louder than words at the end of the day. I've been transparent. Everyone can believe it or not. My stake in Kaspa is probably my stake in Kaspa is very humble. I'm never going to disclose how much I own because that's private, but it's a very, very humble bag. You know, I wish I had more. That's why I keep buying more, because I want to have more. I want to, you know, have the most ridiculous retirement wealth. I don't have that. Wish I did. Hopefully one day. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky one of these tokens here. Or these coins here. And make a gain and then be able to put heavy into capital afterwards. Who knows? You know? It'd be interesting. Or make money through the DEX that I used to do when the last 2024, when the meme cycle was popping. Right now it's coming back, but it's still not there just yet. Or I'll do it in trading that I do with my VIPs, which I'm making gains through that as well. Like, I've got options to keep stacking, but it's small, humble bags. I think myself as well, Greg. I think I also need to rest. It's been a longer stream than usual for me, and I'm feeling the pressure. I added 10k more Kaspa to my bag this month. I'm very happy to keep us low. Oh yeah, I wish. I'm there with you, Mr. Miles, man. I want to keep stacking more Kaspa, 100%. Eric, this cycle is maturing and evolving. Crypto is no longer a get-rich-quick hype market. It used to be. It used to be in 2021. It used to be in 2024. It's not that anymore. Because why do you see the likes of Vanguard now apparently about to get hold of crypto ETFs? Bitcoin has only moved 0.29% off the back of that. Ethereum only 3% off the back of that. We saw last week Ripple XRP partnering with Securitize, basically allowing their Ripple stablecoin to have utilization by BlackRock's Biddle Fund and the next V-bills, as well as DBS Bank and Franklin Templeton also utilizing RUSD for their customers. So you're seeing Ripple XRP and their stablecoin be utilized for all these big corporate banks apparently right now. XRP price has barely moved. It's actually come down since then. We're not in a hype cycle anymore. The moment people understand where the cycle's going, the easier it will be to trade, invest. You are right. People are in crypto to make money. You're completely right. But the way you make money is maturing and changing. It used to be hype. You hear, oh, Sui, fantastic project. Let's buy at the bottom, pump up great. I mean, it's still going to happen. You're still going to see that happening. You're going to see hype anywhere you go. It's still going to be a factor. But what's going to last the long run is tech, is utility. We're going towards a utility cycle. That's literally what this article just said. This article here that I showed at the very beginning of my stream says that 90% of the cryptos, including Bitcoin, lack underlying value. They're basically saying here 95% cryptos are going to go to zero because they lack what they need to survive. They're being pushed purely by retail. That's the first wave. Retail demand, amplified by social media. Second, after that, these cryptos are going to go to zero because they had lacked the underlying assets, underlying value. So you were right now, Eric. You're right in general. People own crypto to make money. You're right. But the way you make money is changing. It's not hype anymore. It's maturing. It's warping away from hype. Now more so towards real utility assets. And shameless plug, but I think it's a good segue for it. If you want to learn more about the sort of stuff and understand what I mean by that, as well as the institution and what they're talking about, I showcase in my VIP. We got hundreds of documents in there from institutions talking about what they're looking into, the next wave, what they think, how much money they think is going to come into the market regarding AI, real-world assets, you name it, energy. You can join for a week for free or for a month for free, straight down to BYDFI. But the cycle's maturing. That's why I've never been concerned or worried about Kaspa or really anything I hold as an investor, because I know what the smart money are looking at, and I know this market is not the same as it was beforehand. It's not a DJ market anymore. You know? Bitcoin's price swings are a lot less volatile than they were back in 2024. You saw Bitcoin rally in the span of a few days up 40%. It's not going to be like that forever. And it's quickly changing. Yes, we did show that at the beginning of the stream, Mr. Miles. If you were on time, Mr. Miles, if you were on time, you would have seen this. I showcased at the beginning of the stream. It also shows Casio messaging as well, actually. Capital Layer 2 there, as well as Casio messaging. Right here, you can see that. Wait, not that one. Here, Casio as well. You would have seen that. I've been researching Kaspa. This technology is going to change the money transfer system as we know it. I love XRP, but I'm not a maxi. This Kaspa is something to invest in. Better buy it now. Honestly, welcome, Blackwell. Yeah. Actually, as I just saw Cryptony say as well. Yeah, definitely welcome. Welcome indeed. And yeah, you're in a similar position that I think I was probably in at one point. I hold XRP. I'm not infatuated by XRP by any means. Although I know Mr. Mars is going to come out of the works and say, "Oh my God, XRP maxi again." I can hear it. I can already hear him typing. I can hear it. Mr. Miles, you can stop now. But I got into XRP before the lawsuit, or before the conclusion of the lawsuit. I got in down here because I believed it was going to win and it's going to pump, and it did. And I still think it's going to do well this cycle. I think it's got the enough of the partnerships and connections to make it do well. But when I understand what Kaspa's actually building, I believe and I agree it is going to change the monetary system as we know it. It's going to change everything. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here. So you're getting in now when it's at 8 cents, as opposed to getting in the next 5-10 years when it's going to probably be, who knows, 10, 20, 50, whatever it may be, dollars worth. If not even hundreds. Who knows what's going to be in the next 22 decades or whatever. The best way, the easiest way to make money as an investor is to buy in the bear cycle. And you ride the bull cycle up. That's the easiest way to make money. This is Kaspa's bear cycle right now. It's had a very, very long 1.5 pullback, like Bitcoin tends to normally do. And Bitcoin has a pullback. Bitcoin pulls back for about a year and then starts its rally. Kaspa's had it for 1.5 years. It's going to start its rally. When it starts its rally, it'll be a very, very volatile one. Went up to 1 million market cap at the top of the currently around 500k on KSPR Fundbot. Okay, I've not checked out Kaspa Fundbot too much, so I'm not well versed about that. If it's what I just saw here when I checked out KRC, but it doesn't look like that's what I was looking at right there. There are so many dexes and stuff that are being built and stuff on Kaspa, so it's hard for me to really determine where everything is. Which is that's all I can say to that. I mean, end of the day, congrats on you, honestly, Jeff, for making an 8x on that, and hopefully continue trading for you. I really, really hope it does. I'm buying as much as I can, and then a diamond hands. Welcome, good to have you here, my man. Love to hear it. Kaspa will not show up in your balance on here automatically. You need to bridge it to EVM using Curve to bridge. You talked about earlier. Yes. Again, this is stuff that I am still in the process of learning more about myself. You've got to bridge it all through this as well, which I know Shai did raise concerns about that, as he always does, but so far I'm choosing to trust Cashbacks right now, and so far it looks like things are going smoothly. I have not heard any hiccups just yet. I'll refresh my homepage right now, see if anyone's been mentioning any concerns that are worth noting, but I haven't been hearing anything negative right now, which is good. I think my PC's struggling right now. I think I've been streaming for too long. Anything worrying? Probably not. First meme on smart contract Kaspa. I get out. If it's on Kaspa, but I'm not seeing it. What is that? Okay. Cool. I've not seen anything negative so far about, apart from what we saw from Shai. But I've not heard anything saying, "Oh yeah, this is a bit of an issue right now." Congrats. Yeah, that's good to see as well. Yeah, things are looking good right now. So yeah, it looks like things are running smoothly right now. I haven't heard of any hiccups so far. Of course, we are only I think about 14 hours into the launch, something like that. So still early doors, but so far everything seems to be running smoothly, which is good. I need to find out where to check out this yellow, because I've heard it on the KSPR Fundbot. I don't use I never used it, in all honesty. Only thing I have used is Kaspa.com, and even then I used Kaspa.com before this. I just bought I went on Kaspa and I went on to was it L1 market? I guess it was this, right? Yeah. I went on to Kaspa and I went here. I would have got my Wolfie NFT from here. And I would have got my you know, Nacho from here as well. This is the most I had done with Kaspa.com. Would have just gone here, bought Nacho or Wolfie or whatever it was. That's all I did. And it's been smooth. I haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. It was very quick as well. This is the first time I've actually properly looked into this, and I look a lot more as time goes on. But I haven't tried any of the decks out in this space. I might do. I probably should do. But right now I like Kaspa.com, so I better continue seeing what they can prove to me. If this is a bear market, then I can't wait for it to change because these prices are pretty pressed for a bear market. I don't think alts are the bear cycle at all. I think they're struggling because of Bitcoin adoption and macro, but that's changing. I agree. Yeah, Greg, I think you need to go to bed, brother. Honestly, I think me and you are going to start getting off very, very soon. Because it's getting crazy. Okay, we're seeing a lot of yellow maxes coming in right now. Welcome. Of course you are. Miles. Yeah, Kraken also. I mean, Kraken. I've been seeing a lot I was watching something yesterday actually, just with my family, and they just loaded. I just saw Coinbase ads. I was like, why is Coinbase there? Crypto exchanges are going everywhere now. The VC pre-sale game is truly wild. Why is that legal in the United States? You could tell me. I have no idea. Welcome back, TP. No, the Curve wallet is a liquidity pool. Okay, so again, I'm learning more. Thank you, Kryptoni. Again, this is my ignorance. I haven't looked too much into it, so this is again why I'm here, and I understand that I also lack the understanding and knowledge. That's why I'm also here to learn more as well. So yeah, Curve is a liquidity wallet here, so 26% for in this pool here for Caster here. You can see everyone who's holding a lot. Some person does have 10%. So, that person there has 10%. Of course, someone who... The typical rule of thumb when you're trying to get into any of these tokens, during this early stage as well, is anyone that holds over, I think it's 12 to 15% is really, really risky. So 10% is a bit worrying, but it's okay. If you hold over 12 to 15%, then it gets quite risky. That was the rule of thumb that I learned when I was doing Pump Fund and DJ back in the day. So you look at SOMG, the curve here, burn address, you've got two holding 20%. That for me is a bit worrying. You can't even see it. That for me is a bit worrying. I don't know who the two wallets are, but these two collectively hold 50%. That for me is a bit worrying. So I would be personally, I'd be a bit skeptical about SOMG because I don't know who these two wallets are, and they own 50% of the supply. The burn address is here, the curve is here, the liquidity pool is there. So there's not much liquidity left, actually. That's, fine. Not much liquidity left. But these two own 50%, so I'm a bit worried about them dumping. So I'd be a bit skeptical about SOMG in my personal belief. It doesn't unlock for a week, so they may just... It won't move therefore for a week, and then they might dump. Who knows? Then when you look at LFG, Curve has almost 50% left in liquidity. One wallet holds 15%. That again, just my rule of thumb when I was doing pump fund stuff, and it may be different for other people. It's up to your own risk tolerance. For me, if you looked at the bubble maps that were on Pump Fund, they used to showcase their own AI generated warnings, and anything that was over 15% was be careful. Of course, it doesn't take into account the fact that you could have someone here who has a 15%, 3%, and this is actually all one person. You don't know if it's all one person here. Although they will create, if they haven't done so already, they will create bubble maps that do showcase wallets interconnect to each other as well, if they can do. So if one person has multiple wallets. They are quite good at doing that. But yeah, this is LFG, 50% liquidity, 15% owned by one wallet. That'd be bit interesting, bit worrying. We'll see where it goes from there. Look at this one here. I'm like, I don't like that at all personally. So I would personally wait. If this project ends up being good, I'd personally wait. Just me personally. Nothing against SOMG, those who like it. It might be good. I understand again, people saying it was it was a EVM bridge. I think Tony was saying earlier, EVM bridge token. So maybe those are just the two, like, maybe it has those two wallets have a purpose for it. But from a pump fund perspective, I'd be a bit worried about that. But they're looking at Castor again. That's got a lot better distribution. So that's fine by me. CRV will become relevant to Casper in no time. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Okay, so let's see what any other. I should have better clarified. More firm to the VC get an earning model ahead of the public, not regarding CRV specifically. That's my bad. It's all good. Casper to hit all-time highs. I mean, yeah, Casper's looking pretty strong right now. It has surpassed all-time highs. So if you go to Casper, then congrats, still pumping, doing well. You still got another 26% left of liquidity there in the pool. So yeah, looking good. Nope. Today, you're not always on time. I'm not. No, normally I go live at this time actually, so it's not early at all. There you go. Told you. Boring. It's boring with the Mars. Get something new. Last shot to get Casper before rockets. I mean, right now it's rocketing right now, so yeah, who knows? I don't know if it's on my end, Jay, the stream. I had 21 question ads and counting. It must be your end because I don't control the ads. It's YouTube that do it. So I'm sorry you've had so many. Of course, it's a longer stream, so you would get more, I guess, but I don't know. I'm really sorry. I don't control the ads on YouTube. YouTube are just doing something funny, apparently. Yeah, Cass is doing the same right now. Welcome back, Bees. You're doing very, very well. But yeah. Anyways, that is all the questions. That's everything for today's stream. If you enjoyed the content, family, then leave a like, share, subscribe for more. I'm sure as the Casplex Layer 2 mainnet community starts growing more and more, you'll probably see us looking more and more at this sort of stuff here as well. So basically pump fun stuff, meme stuff, but on the Casper community, which would be really, really cool. We got a lot more to look forward to, honestly. We're in a very, very strong spot, I'd say. Price-wise, not so much so, but equally then for what is to come following that, I'd say very much so. Only at 7.8 cents, we've got a lot higher to go. So I am looking forward to what's coming up to Casper. All the stuff being built as well. Lightbeam, for example, another one seems to be coming soon enough as well. Got a lot more coming out. And the successful nature of Casper is a benefit for Casper, and if it's not a negative either, because Casper and Casper are not the same thing. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you want to find out more about crypto, come check out the free community here, or level up even more so with the VIP. We'll learn a lot more in there, and honestly, we may start partaking more in the community here as well. Try to see if we can find some good projects ahead of time. As we try to provide them. That being said, family, have a great day, good night. It's been a real one, been a great one, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care now.